The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at wrestlingwithjohners.com.
Well, I am back for episode 2 with one of my favourite guests, Wheezy Blonde. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Very good. As I said before, living the dream. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm glad and like I told you, I'm glad that somebody is. I'm glad somebody is. What is the dream? I don't even know anymore.
You've had a pretty interesting 2025, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. It's been a really crazy, wild, busy, up and down year for sure.
I mean, yeah. It's been 8 months since I last had you on, 8 months.
Okay.
And then after that, you did a lot. Correct me if I'm wrong, you interacted with and went backstage for Raw.
Yeah, I did that in November.
How was that? And how did that come about?
I'm trying to think of what I can say. It came about just because I happened to be going up there. Like I know someone and I just said, hey, I'm going to be making it up there for the weekend. I wasn't sure if I was going to go to the show or not, but I'll be around. And that person was just like, okay, let's do this. And so that's what I went and did. So I was given the opportunity to talk to, I think, 8 different people. And pretty much how it worked was I was standing just outside of Gorilla, essentially. And talent relations was just going and grabbing like people that were available. Some of them that knew me, most of them didn't. And it was crazy. I got to talk to there were people that I got to talk to that weren't even on my list. Like I was kind of given a list of people that I might be able to talk to, but it was pretty informal. And I was sitting in catering, and the Miz like walked by and was talking to someone that I was with, and I introduced myself. We were talking. I had my Lions jacket on, and he said, "Oh, Dad, love what Dan Campbell's doing with the Lions. It's a football team, NFL for people that don't know." And I just said, "Yeah, that's my guy. I love the Lions." And they're talking. It comes to she's here doing some quick interviews for content. Would you be interested? And he just said, yeah, I could. What do you want to talk about? And I just said, well, if I had the opportunity to talk to you, I probably was going to just trash talk football. And he goes, you want to talk football? I'm like, yeah. He said, all right, I'll see you later. And then we were standing in Gorilla, and I had just wrapped up an interview with someone else, and he's in full suit, glasses, and he like struts over. He just goes, okay, ready, lights, camera, action, go, and points at the girl that's manning my camera. And then we went. So it was a really surreal experience. It was a lot of fun. I would love to get the opportunity to do it again. I don't know if I ever will, but it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to do it.
Every wrestling fan's dream, isn't it? To go backstage and see the heroes and stuff that they saw growing up and interacting with them and filming and stuff.
Yeah, but you have to be able to handle it. And I don't know that everybody can, not everybody can handle that, and not everybody can conduct themselves to be able to do that. So
yeah. I mean, you've done that. And then obviously you went, correct me if I'm wrong, you went to the Royal Rumble as well, didn't you?
I did.
And this is what I mean, November, and then you did actually. I can see that on your hair. It's miles away. You obviously Royal Rumble. That must have been because that was in your hometown, wasn't it?
No, that's just in my home state. So I live in Indiana. Indianapolis is about 2.5 hours south. So I made the drive down for that. I worked with wrestling convention WrestleCon. That was what initially got me there. And then I was reached out to by WWE 2K25 as well. And I was invited to their first playthrough kind of mixer thing. And so I went and did the first playthrough with a couple of my friends that were there. Minnie was there. My her boyfriend Nate was there. My friend Adam, that's in media. There were a bunch of other, the Haroon twins were there. Freaking BDE was there. So it was really cool. Again, surreal experience. We got to go to Royal Rumble through 2K because I didn't have tickets to go. And with 2K, we got to sit up in the press box.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so obviously November, then January, then in April, you had, in my opinion, from what I've seen on your video, you've had one of the best seats in the building.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. Crazy. It was people like the comment sections, of course, were like This is the worst seat. Like, and I'm just kind of, what do you mean? What do you mean? There really wasn't a bad seat in there, if you ask me personally, unless you're like at the back of being on the floor. But it was insane. I didn't know that was happening. I didn't even really know that I was going to be going to WrestleMania until that week. That was a brand deal that came together really last minute.
Wow.
And they just said that you were going. My job was to, one, film anything that said Xfinity and to film certain parts of matches and create a reel at WWE World through them and like a Instagram story series for them. And then the day of, they tell me, oh yeah, it's something like we're going to be sitting on a stage. Like, I don't really know what it means. And I just didn't know what it meant either until you get there and you have to go to this separate entrance to get in. It was insanity. It was absolutely insanity.
And then obviously CM Punk. I've seen the video.
Yeah.
Living colors as well. That must have been amazing.
It was crazy. It was, again, just surreal things. I just tried to really take it in as it was happening because I just always tout that I don't know if I'll ever get to do it again or ever have any kind of experience like that again. So I just try to soak it up. But I saw when CM Punk was walking up the entrance, and I've had like brief interactions with him before. Nothing that I would ever think that he actually knows who I am. The only thing that I can think of that stood out was I had an Instagram live going, and I was wearing my CM Punk. I have a hockey jersey, a CM Punk hockey jersey.
Yeah.
And he actually popped into the live and said, "Just nice jersey." And I'm chill. I'm chill, as I don't really like to. I don't mark out per se, just because I'm trying to work in the space. So I try to remain chill. And I just was like, "Thanks, dude. It's from Chalkline. Like, good to see you. Hope to see you sometime soon." And I don't even remember when that was. That was, I think, sometime last summer. And so I see him walking up the ramp, and I could tell that he saw me because he kind of was squinting at me, and he just was like, "Huh, okay." And then I think it's just probably post-match adrenaline and just like, ooh. But there was a little girl that was next to me who had a belt, and I let her parents squeeze past me so that they could yell at Punk to try and sign her belt. And he did. He came over, signed her belt, and after he signed it, he just said, "Don't let anyone tell you that you can't ever do anything." And he turned to walk away, but he stopped himself and he pivoted and he rounded the corner just to walk in front of me. He just like held his hand out for me to like dap him up. And I paused for a minute because I don't know. I don't know if it's just a thing of me of like, are you actually talking to me? Is this meant for me? And then it became very clear that it was. So I just was like, he said, "Thank you." He just offered me his hand and said, "Thank you." And so I said, "Anytime, man. Don't mention it. It's fine." Yeah.
Love it. Since CM Punk's come back in 2023, I think he's been and put some of his best work in.
I knew very little about CM Punk in 2023. What I knew was that I knew him from AEW, and I knew that he had dropped the pipe bomb in WWE, and I had listened to his podcast. I had listened to his episode on Cole Cabana's podcast. And that was a lot of the extent that I knew. Everything I knew was what everyone else had told me. And so I watched him on AEW. I was watching AEW at that time. And I remember when he showed up, just how important it felt, how crazy it felt. And it felt like there was a shift just in wrestling in general. And so I was intrigued by that. I obviously could tell that he was really good at reeling people in and speaking on the mic, but I didn't watch very regularly. And I could tell towards the end, I just felt like that it wasn't there for him. It didn't seem like he was having fun. It didn't seem like he wanted to be there. And then everything that happened with the whole media scrum thing. And I was one of the only people in my circle or just immediately around that I felt like didn't want to talk about it and didn't start jumping on this bandwagon of CM Punk is a cancer. Oh, he's this. Because it's just kind of like, you don't know this person for one, and you actually don't know what happens backstage. You don't actually know what these interactions were between all of these people. And even then, if someone's going to talk shit to you, are you not going to defend yourself? Like, what, do you people live in a bubble? I don't really understand the thought process of that. I don't care what company you work for or what you're doing. Like, you're allowed to defend yourself and do whatever you want. So I always had his back on that. And then same thing when he came to WWE. I didn't buy into the BS. I didn't buy into the BS. And then I feel like when he got to WWE, I was able to see it. It was such a different side of him than what he was showing in AEW, and became a fan very, very, very quickly. Very quickly. I immediately see now and could see like why everyone was so enamored with him back in the 2010s at his initial rise. And now I'm a CM Punk girly. I'm just a CM Punk girly.
And CM Punk's always been one of my favorites because he don't. How do I put it? He don't take shit. He says it how it is, and you've got to have people like that in the wrestling world.
And I am that way as well, and I appreciate it, and I recognize it, because you find a lot of fake people throughout all this. I've actually had someone that I worked with backstage tell me that you're really upfront and you're really like straightforward, and they're like, we like that. Like, well, thank you, because I don't bullshit. Like, I'll just tell you straight up, and not in a rude way, but just in a clear communication way.
Yeah, and that's the best way to be honest. Not beating around the bush, just get straight to the point.
Yeah, because I don't see the point in doing that. It's time. It wastes time. It wastes my time. It wastes your time. You know.
Right. There's a lot of negative stuff in this world as well, and like we said on the last episode that we did together, obviously it doesn't take anything just to be kind to people and just stuff like that.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah. So we're in the last week in professional wrestling, especially for WWE. It's been wild. They've had Worlds Collide, they've had Money in the Bank, and obviously last week we had R-Truth put on Twitter that he was getting released to, or his contract wasn't getting renewed. There's a lot of things that went up in the air about him. Yeah. But what amazed me about that and Money in the Bank is from in 7 days, in my opinion, R-Truth is one of the most beloved characters ever in WWE. I love him. I think he's a fucking genius. Absolutely. He's funny. He's nothing but great things to say about him. And 22.7 million last time I checked saw his post. And that, as a wrestling community, the IWC and everything got together, and even in TNA, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, we want truth. There was a lot of movement for him, and that is amazing. And obviously now with Money in the Bank, for people who haven't seen him, I'll be quite surprised if they haven't, he's back.
Yep.
And that's amazing.
It is. It's crazy. I don't know. It's happened. I forget what the one situation that is similar that had happened before. Someone posted about it, but I forget. But it's not something that happens often. You know, you have releases that happen every year, multiple times a year. And I don't think anyone has ever been rallied for in the way that R-Truth has. And rightfully so, just because he's such a bright light and he's such a staple of so many people's childhoods. And I think the bigger picture too is just how much he means backstage, how much he means to the people that work there. I think that has a huge, huge hand in it. I can almost guarantee that the morale around there was really, really low and heavy feeling because he was gone, because everyone was sharing their stories of how important he is, their pictures, their videos. And I think his absence in even just a week was really felt. And I'm glad that he's back, but I hope that it hasn't made him feel disposable or like he shouldn't be there in any way. I'm really curious, like, where his mindset is at after having that happen, after having the company let you go like that.
No.
And now you're back. And it's kind of like, okay, well, what do you want me back for now? You saw me as disposable then. Okay, now I'm here.
I mean, pretty much because he's a veteran, isn't he? He's been there like, 17 years?
Yeah.
Something crazy like that. And
I don't know the actual number, but I mean, he's been there a long time. And that just felt so out of left field. He just was in those matches, and he's regularly on TV. It just felt, I don't know.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm glad he's back, and it's just, I reckon the side that we're going to get to R-Truth now, he's still going to be funny, but I reckon he's going to be like 2011, you know, like where he's a lot more physical in the ring. I mean, he attacked John Cena, so that's going to probably be another showdown with him.
We'll see. We'll see.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Fallout from Money in the Bank. I mean, there's a lot going on. One of my favorite parts was Jacob Fatu.
I hate you, Solo.
Yeah, that was funny. And then I saw your reaction to it. That was crazy.
Well, I have a whole bit on my streams where I myself have said the whole "I love you, Solo." Like I yell it, I say it. It's my thing. And he stopped saying it, and so then I had to stop saying it. But I knew that it was gonna be "I hate you, Solo." It just was at what point and when was it gonna happen? I didn't think that was gonna be it, but I'm glad that it did. But I'm really liking Solo at the moment too. So he's funny. I like what he's giving right now. But I don't know what to expect moving forward. I don't know what to expect at any. So that's the thing. Like I never know. I don't know. I just like things in the moment as they happen. And I'll be really anxious to see what that means for JC, what it means for what the hell even is his name now? I still know him as Jeff Cobb. I don't know what the hell they call him now.
JC Mateo. I don't like it, to be honest. JC Mateo. I don't like his name. I prefer it Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, I mean, I just Jeff Cobb sticks better. I know why I get it, but and then with the tribal chief is still gone, the Usos, more people you could possibly bring in. I just don't really know where they go from here, so I'm excited to see what it transpires.
Do you think that the Bloodline storyline is finished now?
I have no idea. I feel like I saw people saying that it is, but I don't know. I actually don't know that that's been confirmed by anybody. So
yeah,
I feel like I feel like it's been. There's no mention to it. They don't call themselves the Bloodline anymore. I forget what they'd call. Oh, they called themselves the family or something, or the brother. They did something different. So I'm gonna assume it's dead in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter mention that they think that WWE's lost momentum after WrestleMania. What do you think on that?
I think it's a dumb thing to say.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Stupid thing to say, because that is literally every year in the history of forever. It's like it's the end. It's WrestleMania. Wrestling is 365. There is no off season of wrestling. Okay. After WrestleMania, you have like the 2 weeks after that you're kind of wrapping up loose ends from Mania, and there's that excitement, and then you're right back at square one. Okay, you're right back at square one, building up until the next WrestleMania. You have to have the lull, and you have to have the losing momentum in order to build more momentum. You can't just be momentum, and on the top every episode, every week for every month. That's unsustainable. That doesn't make any sense. So when I hear people say that, I just feel like they're grasping for something to complain about, which everybody is, or they have just recently started watching at like right before WrestleMania 40, and they don't understand how wrestling works, or they don't understand how WWE works. How about that?
100%. I mean, WWE had an extended 2 weeks this year, for storylines, because obviously it's normally at the end of March, beginning of April into WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. But then they had it like on the 19th and 20th this year.
Yeah, it was a little later. It was definitely later. Usually it's at the beginning of the month.
That's a good thing, I think, like in the middle of April. I thought it was a lot better. I thought it was a lot better, for the storylines to have it a little bit longer.
I didn't mind it. Especially this year. And that's the thing too, is that every year is different. You can't just hone in on, 40 went this way. Well, 40 was a completely different once in a lifetime kind of WrestleMania. It's not going to happen every time. It's just not. That's just the reality of it. Think of all the duds that happened. Now, I'm not saying this WrestleMania was a dud. It wasn't. But think of all the duds and things that weren't quite as exciting in the history of WrestleManias. There's a lot of WrestleMania 20 something that wasn't good. So I just don't think things need to be made into such a big deal all the time. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, this month alone and next month, WWE are running a lot of programs, pay-per-views and stuff like that.
You know.
And obviously in July, there's All In, which that is shaping up to be quite a good card. I don't know if you're a keep up with AEW. I think, yeah, in fact, yeah, you do, but you don't stream it as much, do you?
Correct. So yeah. I know loosely what's happening there. I know the big things that are happening at All In. I know that All In is happening. and it's I want to watch for sure. I feel like I have to.
Yeah.
They always put on a good pay-per-view though. They always have
100%. Do you think WWE, I'm not saying they're scared of AEW, but do you think running a lot of pay-per-views is trying to counteract it?
I don't know because again, I don't know what their viewpoint on it is. Like I don't think that they're threatened by them in any way. I don't know if it's just playful, like I don't know if it's a playful competition kind of thing or what. I don't really know. I'm not sure.
It's like Tony Khan mentioned, in his media scrum, because someone asked him the question about WWE running back-to-back pay-per-views and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He said it's very healthy competition, and they've not been like that since NWA, with Jim Crockett Promotions back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And which wrestling is good because, in my opinion, as long as everyone's got a job, fit and healthy, and can feed their families, then it's good.
Yeah.
I
love that both of them exist. I think both of them need to exist. They both give different energy. They both give different atmosphere. I really wanted to start watching it recently because I like when you can tell that the talent are really into what they're doing and that they're very passionate about it. And there's just a different air of passion about the people that are wrestling for AEW right now. And it makes me want to tune into it more. It just is really hard to fit into my schedule. Like I can't watch it live. So then I have to find time during the week to be able to watch it. And it's really hard to fit in the extra 2 hours. So I try to just keep up on the clips, and YouTube and everything is really helpful to be able to just watch like the recaps and important segments. But I think it's great. Toni Storm is one of my favorite people.
Been very fortunate to have met her.
Oh yeah, I have too, but this was way before Timeless Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was like in 2018, hold on. Yeah, 2018.
Okay, yeah, so that was even before me. I think I met her 23 in 23. But yeah, they're killing it over there. I'm glad.
We spoke before we went on that WWE has now announced Evoloution 2 for the women's pay-per-view, which I think is amazing. Do you know what I mean? It gives them the showcase to show what they've got and stuff like that. Yeah. But my only problem is WWE has so much talent, and they've just added another talent in Mariah May, which is amazing, by the way. And I think it needs to be a 2-nighter.
I agree with you. I haven't heard anybody say that, and I'm surprised. You're the first person that I've heard say that, but it makes sense for that. It won't change now, but I think it should have been. I absolutely think it should have been, because there's just enough. There's enough going on. There's enough talent. There's enough feuds where you could really weave in some really cool stuff on top of bringing in some legends, because they're inevitably going to do that. I wish it was 2 nights, but I'll be curious how they angle it and how it shapes up and what exactly they're going to do. Is it going to be just a showcase of the women? Are they going to build some actual stories into it for matches? I'll be curious, because gosh, the Evoloution, the first one in 2018, it almost escapes me. Like I kind of am forgetting even what totally happened there. It feels like a fever dream.
Yeah, I think they had like a battle royal back then as well, just to try and get people on the show.
Yeah, and they'll probably do something similar again, just to get faces on, because they have so many places to pull from now too. You've got NXT, they're probably going to pull people in from TNA. I'd be surprised if they didn't. And then we're on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they did do a 2-night, I think it should be a yearly thing and a 2-night every year.
I think so too. And I think after this, they might fully incorporate it. I don't know why it took this long. I have no idea. I know someone mentioned it last night or whatever, when the media scrum was for what was the pay-per-view this weekend? Money in the Bank. Someone asked Triple H about it, and he just said they've been wanting to do it for it's been too long. Well, why didn't you do it? But
they've got the money, they've got the resources, they've got everything. So what's it? That's not an excuse, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. I don't really get it. I don't really get why they've left it off. But
yeah, well, 2-nighter if it happens next year, they heard it from me and you first.
Okay. I hope they do. I hope they do. But then again, I think that one makes sense to be a two-nighter, but I don't want every event to be a two-nighter. I can't take this.
Oh, yeah. But either way, it's going to be good for the women because obviously, like I said, NXT alone has stacked talent.
Oh my God, I know.
Jordan Grace.
They're my
Mariah
favorite.
May. You got Julia, obviously now she's on Raw, but at the time, you got Roxanne Perez. You got Lola Vice, Sola Rucker. You got Kelena Jordan. There's so many. Mariah May. I really hope that they don't change her name.
I think they're gonna have to.
I hope they don't though.
If she doesn't want to sell the rights to her name, they're probably going to.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. When a wrestler like Jeff Cobb, JC Mateo, he sounds Spanish.
It does, because Mateo is Mateo is Spanish.
But he's from Guam and he's from Hawaii. Do you know what I mean? Like his background and stuff like that.
Well, someone said if you're here from Philippines, he's Filipino as well, and they do speak Spanish, I think. So I think that might be how
I kind of get it.
Is angled, but I get from just like regular layman terms, people, we were just like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, I hate it when WWE change like really good superstars' names. If it's beneficial, yes, but if the name fits, don't do it. Do you know what I mean?
I get it because I know wrestling fans don't like change. I know. I think it's fun I like to look at it from the angle of like, I understand you don't want the name to change because you're familiar with this name and you like the name and it's what you want to call someone. But I look at it from the standpoint of like, it's an opportunity to kind of start fresh. Like, okay, you get to reinvent this new name and this new person and you're still that person. It's just a name. It's just a name.
Yeah.
You are still everything. You are still the talent. You are still the mouthpiece. Everything about you is you. It's just a name. The name doesn't make you. You make you.
That's true. Very true. We spoke last year, obviously, John Cena for his final run, and you said that obviously John Cena could go out putting someone over. He could. Do you know what I mean? You said we might see someone rise to the top. But obviously now, we didn't expect him to be WWE's champion or whatever they're calling it now, WWE Undisputed or something. Who, in your opinion, should dethrone John Cena?
As of right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. I think they're in a place right now where there's a lot going on. You've got Seth Rollins in his little corner who just won Money in the Bank. You've got R-Truth who just laid John Cena's ass out and looked pissed. You've got Cody Rhodes still bopping around now without a title. You got Jey Uso with the title. You got Roman Reigns on standby somewhere.
Love that.
So I don't know. I'm at a loss to know where they go from here because in the dethroning of Cena, are you giving it to someone else that's is someone else that's a heel going to come in and lay him out and it's not going to be a celebratory thing, or is it going to be the good guy that comes in and everyone is cheering for to have that moment to dethrone Cena? That's where I'm stuck because there is a part of me right now that I don't want, and it feels very fabricated just because of everything that's going on. Just part of me that wants it to be R-Truth. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
I feel like if there was ever a moment to do it, now would be the moment to do it.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
He really does deserve it.
Someone had angled a really cracky one, but I could see it happening too, where R-Truth beats John Cena for the title, and then Seth Rollins cashes in. But I think Rollins is going to go for the world heavyweight. I don't think it'll be that title. But
the thing with the world heavyweight, obviously, you've got the story's not over between Rollins and Punk and Reigns.
Right.
So if it could happen with like what happened with Drew McIntyre, like where he tries to cash in and then loses it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Punk could spoil it. Reigns could spoil it. Yeah. So it could go anywhere, really.
I know, but that's my favorite thing right now is that nothing is really cut and dry. I mean, there's a lot of different avenues that everything could go. And I think that they've done a good job of having multiple things going at one time so that the path doesn't look linear. Like, it doesn't look like, oh, that's the only course. Like, no, everything that's been going on, it's like, it could go here, it could go here. This person could do it, or this person could do it. I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah. And it's like Jey Uso. I was shocked he won the Rumble.
Really?
Yeah, because there was a lot of rumors, well, I see them, like, going about, like, The Rock might show up and be number 31 and do his power. But Logan Paul might win. John Cena's going to win and then go and dethrone Cody Rhodes. Well, I mean, he did, but not how we wanted to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was CM Punk's going to win because he didn't win it last year. There was Roman Reigns is going to win it to go and get the title back. There's all these theories, and then I got shocked, and then Jey Uso won.
I had a feeling it was going to be Jay.
Really?
I did, but also I really don't see a lot of rumors, and I don't entertain them solely because I have been doing this long enough. I've been on the internet long enough that I would say 80% of the time, that's a made up statistic, but in my head, 80% when I'm looking, the majority rumor doesn't happen every time. Every single time. If I have to hear people one more time tell me that Brock Lesnar's coming back, AJ Lee is coming back, or something else is happening that everyone is saying, I'm going to lose my mind. Most of the time, it just don't happen.
Yeah, I mean, AJ Lee, it would be good.
Oh, I'd love it. Oh, my God. I think I have a bet going with my stream right now that if AJ Lee does show up at Evoloution, I have to, like, do a shot of hot sauce or something. I forget what it is. But... I don't know if she will. I hope, but also I don't know if you've read her book, but I don't know if she wants to come back to it. She's in a good place. I think now would probably be a good time for her too. I think it's a lot different of a place, and CM Punk, her husband is there and at the tippy top, and it seems like he's having a hell of a good time. So I feel like now would probably be the best.
I think this year is the 10th year that she's been out as well. Like 10 years that she's last been in.
Wow. Yeah.
I could be wrong. Or it's 2014 or 2015. No, it's 2015 because Paige took the title off her in 2014. It
was right before I started watching again.
Yeah.
Back in 16. And she wasn't there in 16.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah. She did like the female version of the pipe bomb, what CM Punk did. Did you see? I've seen that.
I actually don't think I have.
Okay. Because she was talking to the Bellas, the Bella twins, when they had the title, when AJ Lee had the title. She says the only what did she say? The only door you've been knocked down is the door to John Cena's bedroom. That was the line that she used.
Oh.
It's one of them that you just, when you hear moments like that, you just crease. Do you know what I mean?
I have to write that down. That's a good one to put on the Patreon.
Well, fair enough. Sponsored by One Breezy. I'm joking.
Yeah, thanks, man.
But yeah, WrestleMania is always a tricky one because obviously it's going back to Las Vegas. But I think, in my opinion, because I'm biased, I think the UK deserve a WrestleMania.
I know you guys keep saying it. I know you guys do. I would love for you guys to have one too. I don't think there's anyone that's saying you shouldn't. There's no one over here that's like, no, we don't want that. To have one, I don't care. We just don't have a say in where it's going. I think it was more the principle of it being announced for New Orleans and then it being taken away. Like that feels shitty. Like it sucks.
Yeah.
But New Orleans also has had one within the last 5 years. I mean, it might be 10 years now. But
yeah,
I also feel like that's being blown out of proportion too.
It's one of them that we had like SummerSlam in 1992 when you had the British Bulldog versus Bret. Was it British Bulldog? Yeah, British Bulldog versus Bret Hart for the IC title in the main event.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had like Invasion in 2002. Then we went like 15 years without having anything. And then we got Clash in Cardiff. Then we get Clash in something else. Clash in Scotland. Just give us a decent. And then we had Money in the Bank 2 years ago, last year or 2 years ago. But we need a WrestleMania. Give us the main one. Do you know what I mean? Or SummerSlam. Give us SummerSlam again. Give us something. Money in the Bank was quite decent because I think Money in the Bank is in the top 5 because you've got the top 4. I think Money in the Bank's next.
Do you? I guess I would agree with that. It tends to be one of my favorites for sure. I would just be curious. I would love to see you guys have one. You guys have the best audience. I mean, you guys have the best energy and the best audiences. It's one of my favorite things about seeing international PLEs, because the United States, like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just because we're spoiled and we get it all the time, but you guys also just treat any kind of event or sporting event differently. You can tell me if I'm full of shit,
Yeah.
but you guys
That's
don't
true.
like, you don't care what other people think. In the US, have you ever been here? No. So
I want to go.
if you go to like an event, like a sporting event or a concert or anything like that, that's exciting. There's this, and especially right now, there's a big epidemic of people caring what other people think. So they don't want to look silly, or they don't want to seem silly. Like, they don't get into things. They don't get loud. They don't cheer because they're afraid of being judged by someone else. Or there are people that will give you shit for being like that. They'll like make fun of you. So it's goofy, man. It's so goofy. So that's what I love. I would love to get over there and actually get to go to a show where you guys are, because y'all are fun. Because I've been in the position so many times where I'm trying to like yell and have a good time, and I literally have people making fun of me.
And what's also good about the UK, do you know, even if you could talk, are you familiar with some of the wrestling companies over here?
The only thing, Progress is the only one I know.
Progress, yeah, but if you go to a Progress or a Revolution Pro Wrestling one, the one that Mercedes Money holds the title for.
Oh, okay.
Rev Pro. If you go to any of them or any other wrestling company, like I'm not saying the building's big, but if there's like 500 to 1,000 or 2,000 people in there, well, I'm not saying if it's jammed and cramped, but if you're there, the energy is just so good. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a load of hooligans and pissheads, but it's a different breed. Well, yeah, different breed of wrestling fans, and it's just the UK are very passionate. It's even with football, soccer.
Oh, I don't give it. I'm not one of those people. I don't care.
So football as well. Do you know what I mean? The fans just. So like the biggest team over here at the moment, you've got two big teams. I mean, they call it the top six, but the two big teams at the moment in the UK, you've got Liverpool and Manchester City. Them two are the biggest teams. And if you're a fan for them, if you go to the matches, I haven't been because I can't do it. But yeah, that can be eventful.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything like that. We don't have anything like that.
I'm pretty sure. I think you can imagine.
It would be a lot. I'd be so interested to see it in person, though. I really would, just to experience it. Because again, we don't really have anything like that. Like, I've been to WrestleMania now, and even then, like, that's exciting. But I haven't been in a crowd. At least SummerSlam Cleveland. SummerSlam Cleveland and Roman Reigns came back. I think that's the closest or the craziest pop I've been in, because that people were losing their minds. But at WrestleMania, I don't think there was anything too crazy. Like, Paul Heyman turning on them still wasn't quite the magnitude of Roman Reigns coming back at SummerSlam.
Yeah. One thing what I love about being a wrestling fan is the reaction from people. As in, like when you hear the audience scream or like whoa or a big return, that's what I like most of all. I love it.
I do too. I think that's one of the funniest things too, when people try to say stuff like, like for reaction content where someone like me does, how the amount that they tell us that what we're doing is fake. It's funny to me because I'm sure there are some people that are fabricating their reactions, but for the most part, no, that's literally how people, if I wasn't filming, I would still be talking to my TV, being like, what, like, and reacting to it because it's exciting. The fact that other people think that people aren't passionate like that and could care that much is kind of stupid.
Tell me about it. And I mean, I've seen some creators, that do it. Like, I'm not going to name names, but I've seen, like, I watch yours and I watch Minnie's and I watch Santi's commands. Because in my eyes, you're the top, like, 4. Do you know what I mean? And you can tell that all your reactions are genuine. Minnie gets really excited.
She does.
And you watched, it's like the White 6 came back like 2 weeks ago, correct? Yeah. And your reaction was like, oh my God. You know what I mean? That's genuine.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen. when something catches me off guard, I don't even know. I don't even know what to do. My only reaction is to be like, oh my God, what?
Content create. We'll speak a little bit on content creation. Content creation in 2025. How would you say it is?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh God, I don't even know what to say. It's saturated. It's saturated. There's a lot of people getting into it and doing it. And right now it's a lot of, for me personally, just trying to figure out what it is I need to be doing, want to be doing, and staying relevant and staying on top of things and trying not to copy what someone else is doing, I guess. It's a crazy, crazy world at the moment, but it's also very, it can really hit your ego too, because you find out really quick that the communication of other creators, the communication of companies, communication of brands, you can't really take people's word until things are in writing. I've had a lot of situations happen where I think something is happening and then it's not, and it like absolutely wrecks you. Like, because then you blame yourself of like, oh well, what did I do wrong? Why didn't this go through? Why is this not happening? And you take the blame of it. But there's a lot of opportunity out there if you're willing to work hard for it and find it. It's just it's a lot harder to get recognized now because it's saturated, especially in the wrestling space. Like content creation in general, booming. It's wonderful. It's great. People want to hear from actual real people and not celebrities anymore. But it's hard.
Yeah, definitely. Because what I see what you do and other content creators like Command, Santi, and stuff like that is you've got you up top, then you've got the video or however it is. Do you know what I mean? And you react to it. But then in my TikTok and YouTube algorithm, I'm seeing other people try it, and I feel like they're trying to chase it. Do you get what I mean? When don't chase, in my opinion, don't chase it. Be you, be authentic. I've seen what you mentioned it recently that Joaquin Wild did that quote, like be different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so he was talking about how R-Truth had come to FCW when he was down there.
Yeah.
And he told them, R-Truth told them that he found who he was and was able to find himself in wrestling because of the persona he had with music, like his background in music. And there was someone that said, well, what if I want to be a wrestler, but like I don't have a backstory? What if my backstory is just that I love wrestling? And R-Truth said, well, it's fine, but it's not very interesting because everyone here has that story. Everyone has a story that they want to be a wrestler because they like wrestling. What's yours? And I've taken that to heart in creating and becoming who I am, because I think I'm one of the few creators that does put my real life into my content, my real personality into my content. I am a little more open. I'm willing to tell people things and give them my takes on life and just everything because I like living. Like I love being a human, and I think it's the coolest thing. This is deep, but I think it's the coolest thing ever that out of all of the possibilities, all the people that could be here at this particular moment, that you're the one that's here. And a lot of things really suck. But even though a lot of those things really suck, you are still only here for this particular time period. So you have to make the best of it that you can, even though things might not be the greatest. And I really try to like make people remember that like you have the ability to go do, for the most part, anything you want within your means. You might not be able to afford the craziest trips or getting to do things, but you can do something within your means that's still pretty cool. Like go do it, go live, because there's so much more to life than just sitting at home and not doing anything. Like if you can get out there, go do something, go chase a dream.
100%. And I mean, what you have just said and what that quote and what R-Truth said to people and what Joaquin Wild said is remarkable, because from me speaking to you last year, do you know what I mean? You said chase your dreams. Back in 20, I've been doing this. I started it properly in 2024, but I've been doing this since 2020, May 23.
Okay.
I did so many. And I was like, there's a reason why I got into it. It's like I do this, like interviews, podcasts, talking to people and stuff like that, because I like connecting with people and hearing their stories, just talking. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, it's the connection and building an audience. Maybe it's like when I get comments on my videos, I reply to them. I love that.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot more. I'm trying to do it more again. I got out of that one, but I had just watched a music producer, someone in the music business, that said she was giving advice to music professionals, but she was saying if you're a new musician and you're trying to get out there, the top 5 things I can tell you to do on all of your accounts is to reply to your comments, like reply to your people and build that community. And I was like, I kind of let go of that. I did.
Yeah, I'm going to say, because I do that, and then I do the interviews, but I also do travel videos. Do you know what I mean? So anywhere I've been around the world, I like to capture that moments and then upload it. So like if I go on a trip to the Caribbean, or Caribbean, however people pronounce it, if I go there, then I like to capture it and then post it, and then it's like a recommendation to like where people go. I can help them, just stuff like that. I like that.
Yeah.
It's like for me, I'm nowhere near a big person, do you know what I mean, on YouTube as what I want to be. But again, I'm not chasing it. I'm just, and hopefully one day it'll come. It's like I've got 2,117 subscribers or something. But you slowly get there after consistency. It's like, obviously now I've had you on twice. I'm not saying you build that relationship, but obviously it's like what's the word I'm looking for? CV. Do you know what I mean? It's a CV. So it's like with me, if you look at the list that I've had 80, you're my 84th guest now.
Oh, wow.
Obviously I've had you on twice, so probably 83. So obviously people see I've had you on, people see I've had Minnie on, people see I've had Jacob Fatu, I've had Zilla. Do you know what I mean? People see the people who you've had, people want to take more of a chance on you. Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
And I think that's good.
Yeah, it absolutely. That's a big thing with my platform. Luckily, is that a lot of the people that are in the business like me. That helps. Like I'm not weird. I don't push. I don't overstep, and so I have a good reputation of, if someone knows who I am, like they will say good things about me, or that they see that a lot of these people follow me, and so that kind of helps me a lot get the foot in the door for some of the things that I try to do.
It's like for me, obviously, I've had you on. The dream also is to have Conman on.
Oh,
Santi. I'd love to have Denise Salcedo. Did I say that right?
Yeah. Denise.
Yeah. I'd love to have Chris Van Vliet. I would love to have Sean Ross Sapp. Those are the 5 or 4 that I want to try and get on. Say again, sorry.
Have you tried?
Tried.
Okay. Chris is usually pretty good about it.
Chris, he's a very busy man, and his schedules and timings and seeing the emails or the messages, it's timings. It's like for you, I think I got very lucky when I emailed you or sent you a message last year. I think caught you on a good day, but then now obviously speak the odd time. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah. If I can make time, I make time. I don't really know I don't have a method to my madness. I really don't. I don't have a method to my madness. It just depends on the day.
So any advice for people that wants to get in touch with you or wants to work with you or collaborate?
So my business email, which is in all of my bios or on my link tree, it's wheezyblonde@dulceto.com. Like email that, but also I will not reply to an email that's just, hey, do you want to collab? I will not reply to an email that's like, hey, I'd like to have you on my podcast. When are you free? I will not reply to any email that doesn't give me a base of who you are, what your idea is, what your podcasts are. I'm burnt out of podcasts. Like that's the thing. You can only go on a podcast. That's why I don't do very many. That's why I don't reply, because you can only do and have the same conversations so many times when you're not trying to push like a particular like project or something. If you email me and you have an idea, like an idea for a video, I will not come up with the idea for you. Like you reached out to me. Okay, well, what would you like to do? What would you like to collab on? I'm not coming up with the idea. You have to pitch it to me. Yeah. And then also putting all of your socials in it so that I can take a look and see who you are. If I have to make the time to find you, I'm not going to reply. So like just pitch it well, it can't just be one sentence. You have to sell yourself. Sell yourself. No one is going to want to work with you if you don't sell yourself. People don't know who you are. There's a sea full of people that I can work with. You have to tell me why I should pick you. It's important.
That's true. And so obviously you mentioned on X, I still call it Twitter. Do you know what I mean? That's just what it's known as to me. I think you put on about a month or a month and a half ago that you're open to doing a little bit more podcasts again, and I bet you must have been bombarded with God knows how many.
I did.
Yeah, and how many did you select in the end?
4.
And I'm one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, awesome.
4.
Again, like I've said to you, I'm very grateful. Do you know what I mean? That I've had the chance for you to come back.
Yeah. I have 2 more Friday, I think. This is the week when most of them hit. I think I did one like 2 weeks ago and then you today. And then I have more like Friday. But a lot of it has to do with the time too. Like there were a couple, I think I sent 2 or 3 more my link, but they can't find a time. And I just don't really have the wiggle room. Like if you can't find a time on what I have available, I just can't. Like I've learned that I have to have that boundary. I can't make a lot of like exceptions, otherwise I'll be like drowning.
They want you, they've got to go against your time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're the star. Do you know what I mean?
Star, I just limited time. It's limited time.
So WWE this year have acquired AAA.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be getting a Mr. Iguana t-shirt?
I would love to. I haven't looked at WWE Shop or anything, but I loved that show. That show was so much fun. I wish I could incorporate more time to watch more AAA because I really, really, really the character work of that. I guess I forgot how fun just lucha is in general. And I've even had friends tell me that have gone down to Mexico and have watched, or I don't even know if it was AAA, but it was they've gone to like a lucha libre show and how much fun they have, and they don't even like wrestling. Like it's so much fun. They have such a different way of connecting with the audience, and there's such individualism and such performance. Like, and I like over the top performance. I'm a theater girly. Like I like silly shit, and that was so good.
I thought Worlds Collide was really good.
Oh, it was so good. I was so glad I watched it because I considered for a minute not, and I was like, no, you need to do it, and I'm so glad I did. It was so much fun. It was no fluff. It was good. It was good wrestling. Like I was the commentary was awesome. It was great.
That Gable match with Vikingo was really good.
Oh my God, it was crazy. Everything that happened, I'm always like, oh, are you good? Are you good? Are you good? And I'm familiar with Vikingo. Vikingo worked with Warrior in my area and had come through a few times. And I had heard, I like to do this thing where I incognito scroll. I have a burner account. So I go on TikTok and I go in people's lives and I listen. There's like 10 people in there at one time and they're podcasting and they're like talking. I like to go and I like to listen to see what people are saying. And so I stumbled into this one, and they had nothing good to say about anything, but they were concerned about Vikingo wrestling anywhere near WWE or with WWE, and that they were going to change his style because Vikingo is very fast. He's very, very, very fast. He's very high risk. And they're like, oh, they're going to ruin him. They're going to ruin him. And to have Vikingo against Chad Gable, of all people, 2 very different styles. Chad Gable is amazing, but he's technical, man. He can do a lot of strength things. You don't see him do too much high flying. So to have those two styles work together, dude, it was so good. I actually want to watch
really
it.
Good.
It was good.
Really good. That Canadian Destroyer on the apron, that I was like, oh, that got me.
I'm like, oh God, he's dead. It's fine. Oh.
So obviously WWE's acquired AAA.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think in the next 1, 2, 3 years that WWE might acquire TNA?
Didn't they already?
It's a partnership they've got going, like exchange talent.
Okay. Possibly. Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
They're kind of there already, but I think it just depends on TNA is just I don't know. As long as they're not putting their fingers in it too much, and it sounds like they're not going to do that with AAA. You know, the cool thing is that they are their own things. If WWE is willing to keep them, because I think hopefully the thought process behind it is that they can help keep them afloat. And if they survive, wrestling survives. Like AAA definitely is something that should continue to be around. And if being acquired by WWE helps it continue, then by all means, that's what needs to happen. And I feel the same way about TNA. But I think TNA might be in a different financial position where they can kind of hold their own a little better. But then it's kind of like, well, then how would that work as far as hiring talent goes? You know, are they technically under the WWE umbrella because they've been acquired by them? Are they just TNA talent? Because look at all the people that are at TNA right now that were released by WWE. Now we're trying. Now we're dealing with that where you've got freaking AJ Francis showing up on NXT, who was top dollar, but now he's not that anymore. And then same thing with Elijah. Just there's
You got Dirty Dango as well.
Yep, Dirty. What even is he now? Is he still Dango or is he Curtis? What is he?
Dirty Dango, I think.
He's still Dirty Dango. Okay.
Yeah, something crazy like that. But yeah, unbelievable time for wrestling. You know what I mean? So the final few questions. What is your, well, not even questions, just discussion. What is your plans for the rest of 2025?
It looks like I'm going to be doing SummerSlam. I have not confirmed. I haven't confirmed,
really good.
But I should be there working with a wrestling convention. I think if that doesn't happen, I just will find another way to work and get there. So that's happening. I will be in Grand Rapids in 2 weeks for another SmackDown. I'm going to see if I can get any interviews or if anyone wants to do anything while I'm there. What else? I was trying to make it to Evoloution. I don't think that's going to happen. And beyond that, really just continuing to build my online brands. I want to venture out of just doing wrestling. I'm trying to incorporate in a little bit more with my wrestling. Just find ways to kind of stand out from the crowd just because things are so saturated. I'm really proud of the platform that I've built. And I think that I think it's worth a lot more than I'm being given credit for at the moment. And so I basically am in an era of I just want to prove everybody wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, sounds fun. So you're pretty much making your way through the top 4 pay-per-views for WWE this year.
Yeah, that's actually my goal. I want to make it to the big 4 this year. I want to Grand Slam all 4 of them. So I got to make it to SummerSlam, and then I definitely want to make it to Survivor Series.
Where is Survivor Series this year?
San Diego, California.
Oh, wow. So that's not far from you. That's not far from you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the other side of the country. It's like a 5-hour flight.
That's like from the UK to Egypt, I think. Could be wrong.
I mean, just thinking in like the map, that sounds about right. Like lengthwise, just like distance-wise, that's far. We're big.
Yeah, you are.
Big.
So last year I finished with your Mount Rushmore. You get that asked out a lot, so I'm not going to do that again. I do that with every guest, but I know yours. So I'm going to do it again, an inspirational message from yourself, because I always like to be very inspirational and just with a lot of positive that goes on around the world.
What do you want me to do?
Your inspirational message.
An inspirational message, just in general?
Yeah, or just something that pops to your mind.
The thing that I've been touting the last couple of days on stream is really honing in on trusting yourself and learning who you are, because we live in an Asian society where everybody's telling you who to be and what you should be and what you should think and what you should believe in. And we're losing original thoughts. We're losing thinking for yourself. We're losing critical thinking. Everybody needs to be told what to think. Everyone needs to be told the answers of how to perceive things. They need context for everything. And we're losing critical thinking skills. So I implore everybody to learn how to learn yourself, learn what you think, what you believe, because you're going to lose yourself and you'll fall for anything. And that's happening a lot on the internet. It's happening in the wrestling community. It's just happening literally everywhere. So quit letting other people tell you what you think and what's right or wrong, because they could be wrong. Like, you can't take everything as truth. You can't take everything as fact. That leads into when you get on Twitter and you're scrolling and you see a news story pop up from a source you've never heard of, and it's a picture of Rhea Ripley, stop believing everything you see on the internet. Stop it. Not every rumor that you see is fact. Take the 2 seconds to use a Google machine and go on Google and see if you can find anything about it. And if it's not actually verified by someone reputable or by the person themselves, don't believe it. Stop coming into everyone's comments and telling them, hey, did you hear this? Hey, did you hear that? Because you're spreading this information. Quit it. That's how we got in this situation in the first place. That's all.
I love that. Honestly, Wheezy, thank you for coming on. You know I'm always grateful for you, and you've helped me a lot with the advice you've given me, and collaborating with you twice, it's obviously a dream come true. Maybe in another 8 months we'll do it again.
Yeah, check back. 8-month check-in. Do it again. See how we're doing then. Hopefully by then, I've got really big news and cool things are going on. I try to grow every quarter, so I'm hoping.
Yeah, honestly, thus, thank you for coming on, and I really do appreciate your time because I really do know how busy you are.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you.